All right, and we are back from the break. The party has arrived in an unknown crystal sphere, gotten a quick survey of the planets, and now they are accelerating away from the sphere wall. Before we went on break, I believe, Solas, you wanted to look at the stars?
Yeah, Solas would go through the stars to just to see if there's multiple potential candidates that corresponds the false directions to home.
Okay, what are you like specifically looking for?
The part we are in the riddle at the moment is that we will need to find the blood star
Okay.
and the shadowed path. So I would look at any star that reminds Solas of blood.
All right. Unfortunately, there are at least a dozen red stars that you can see on the shell wall. Um,
So we definitely need to find some local that knows the star in question.
yeah. As you are speeding away from the sphere wall, you do get the impression that you're being watched, Solus. And
Oh.
you turn back towards the sphere wall behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you realize that the stars on the wall, like it's very spread out because you have not moved that far away from the sphere wall yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's not just that they're a constellation, but they're actually a constellate, which is a type of
Oh.
creature that lives on the sphere wall and um, has the bright stars as part of its body. It appears to be some sort of giant bird, as best you can make out, and it does appear to be watching your ship.
I will notify rest of the crew and party and keep an eye on it, study it.
Any of us heard of any such a thing?
They're relatively common. Not
Yeah,
every sphere has constellates as their constellations, but many of them do. Sometimes they're friendly, sometimes they're hostile. Um, Sometimes they want to converse with travelers, sometimes they don't. But many of them are not sages per se, but they do tend to observe the goings on in the crystal sphere that they're in.
Solas tries to see if he can determine if if it's watching us with what kind of intent it is watching us.
That is impossible to tell. I mean, it's just watching you, whether
Yeah.
it's hostile or interested or disinterested or anything like that. It's very difficult to tell.
But yeah, Solas would mention this that yeah, there's Constellant that is watching us right there.
Uh, what what do you think the consulate is? Because I think they turn into a copy of what they are.
This is a giant bird of some sort,
Right.
a raptor type bird.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an eagle, could be a hawk, could be something unique to the sphere.
Fair enough. Uh, maybe Finn can talk to it if it's a giant bird.
Well, you're really
He's
far away from it. You'd need to go back and up to its head to try and talk to it.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think it's worth doing that. If it's just looking at us, then that's fine. We can leave it be.
Like the portal that you entered via is clearly within its constellate body.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As you get farther away, like there'll be a point where you can like see it very clearly, but then once you start moving away, and that'll be within a couple days. Um, but then once you start moving further away, like the actual form of it will kind of vanish. You won't be able to see that anymore, just because you're so far away, and you'll only be able to see the stars.
Oh, it's good that it doesn't seem to be hostile.
Okay. Well, you can tell already from the astrolabe that you are in for a bit of a trip ahead of you. So you'll be you got 4 days before you can move to the next block. And I did update my timetable. And before you got into the sphere, you're at this point basically you're 12 days past paying the crew again. So that also means that you can do another round of good berries.
Oh, a good briefing.
Can they do the more powerful spells now that make food?
They'll need to start memorizing them if they don't already have them
Actually,
memorized.
How
I have
full are we on
one, so
food?
I will cast it now that after Solas has casted the contact home power, so now I can refresh it.
All right, sorry, Lafdul, you were saying?
How are we on food, Braxon?
Just figuring it out now. Hang on.
Because obviously, yeah, all three of us can.
It's
do.
the food's not too bad at the moment. We've got
Well, those are good berries anyway.
we've got over 10,000 man days of food at the moment, so we're okay. But we don't know yet whether there's civilization here. We know there's an elven god here.
Yeah, it's not
So
32.
What's it? Sorry.
32 is for 4 months worth.
Oh, sorry.
I think it should be 8.
8. Sorry.
All right, so 18 and 19 man days worth of food added in. And there'd probably be like a rotating, because like not every crew member can get one of those, but a rotating thing where,
So I don't have to eat salt pork.
who's getting it, but also to make sure that everyone has an opportunity. Either if they just to make sure that it's all fair, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Solas, like I said, will cast create food, and if my calculations were correct, it will create enough food for 27 people for a day.
So 27 man days worth of food.
Thank you. I think we shall live.
Okay. So you have at least a month. I mean, you can easily count up the number of blocks, multiply that by 4 to figure out how long it takes you to get to that firewall.
Can we go from this one to this one?
Yeah. Any overlap you can go to.
Okay. 6. Oh. No, 1, 2. Yeah, I'll make it 9 times 4.
So yeah, you're looking at 36.
36 days, yeah. We're going to go there unless Lafdul's deity tells us otherwise.
Yeah, I would be casting commune. I'm just thinking.
I'm not seeing a point. Not seeing a point in going to the air world at the moment. or this one?
This one is the air world. The other one is a water world.
Yeah. That's the water world. Yeah, I was thinking we go to the fire world and then go straight onto the water world and then go into the middle where there's an asteroid belt where there might be a place similar to Brow. But it's possible Lafdul's deity will tell him something. Depending on how naughty he's been. Let's hope that Lafdul hasn't been naughty and his deity provides him with lots of useful information.
I think Lafdul's deity appreciates if Lafdul has been a naughty one.
Depends on
Considering it's a
how
trickster.
depends on how the naughty is. All right, so let's see. I'm looking up commune as well because I need to look that up and see. What the effect is. All right. Well, Lafdul said that he had to step away. So, like, you've got 4 days before you can move to the next block. Is there anything that anyone wants to do? Like, now that you're in wild space, you can do anything that has to do with fire. You can do anything that has to do with spells that summon and stuff like that. If that's something that you want to do.
We're going to do all the sharpening of all the woodworking tools. And we needed to cut that wood up into planks or something.
Okay.
So we basically put that off.
All right. How many hull points worth of wood did you end up getting?
Oh, blimey. Good question.
I mean, you should have written it down.
He just needs to look it up. That's fine.
I'm looking. I'm looking to see if I put it on a carrot sheet. Uh, 15 whole points of unworked wood.
Okay. So, I think that you can basically process 1 hull point per day into lumber.
Okay.
So you're looking at 15 days of work to get all that taken care of. And add in time to, sharpen your tools. Let's just round that up to 16. So 4 of the blocks of movement.
Yep.
All right. So let me see. All right.
Plus, we'll have to sharpen the tools as we go along because that's the wood that blunts the tools.
All right. So Lafdul can ask 1 question per experience level, and the answers are generally yes or no, or a very, very short handful of words. So what level are you, Lafdul?
Ninth. Obviously the minimum to cast a spell.
So
I'm only going to ask a couple of questions.
So you got 9 questions. Is there anything that anyone wants to ask, like,
If I asked less questions, would that be less irritating? Because it says it annoys the gods when they're asked.
I mean, you might just contact Erevan's servant.
It would generally no. I mean,
it's casting the spell.
It's casting the spell, and it's also the content of the questions. So, like, if you're like, will this thing that we're trying to do prevent the destruction of all the elves on the planet? An elvish god's going to be substantially less annoyed about that than, is this meal that I'm preparing going to piss off the king of this random human nation?
Will tomorrow be a sunny day?
Yeah. So it really is the content of the questions more so than the number.
Well, I think an obvious first question would be, does the Elven Navy have a presence in the sphere?
Damn, I was going to say that.
No, I was going to ask, where is the nearest safe refuge?
Right, but that's
do
not a yes or
remember
no.
that it's it's
Huh?
really short answers that you can get.
Yeah, but I say a name of a planet or a body thing.
Yeah, but we don't know the names of these places.
Well,
Right. If he gives you the name of a planet, you're like, okay, we want to go to such and such planet. Which one is that, guys? And everyone's going to look at you and be like, we have no idea.
okay, so
Also,
No,
do
I
remember
just-
that. Also, do remember that you can't discuss the answers during the spell is active,
okay,
or
so
ask authors for questions.
well, should we sort out all the questions first?
You should, yeah.
Well,
Right.
I basically suggested what I think is a good
Yeah.
opener.
I think Ockar's questions are good. You
I
should
mean,
definitely
just-
ask that.
Obviously, it
Right.
is up to Lafdul if he wants to
Yeah.
ask the questions,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
though, you guys can suggest things. There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
wrong with
yeah.
that.
That's up to you whether you want to go with that. Seeing as we're going to, it's a flat world orbiting the fire world, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you ask the question, like, is there a safe place for us to land on the flat world orbiting the fire world? It can only be that place. So you don't need to know the name of it to be able to ask about that. So you could ask a question about that. Like maybe there's an elven port there, maybe there's a safe port. So that thing you was asking about a safe port, you can ask if there's a safe port in that place.
And remember, it's within the knowledge of the deity or agent as well. So
Yeah, so
Did we?
they can answer. I don't know.
yeah,
Did
like
we
if you said, is there a safe place to land on such and such planet, and there are no elves on that planet, then an elven deity is
true.
probably going to say, I don't know.
How about
That's
this?
true.
How about this? We could ask. Another thing we can ask after the Elven Navy question is, where can we find elves in this sphere?
That's
Again,
not a yes or no
questions
question.
should be yes or no. They can give you more things, but they're not obligated to. It's rare, and it's generally going to be a thing of like if your yes or no question seems like a yes or no question, but the deity's like, no, actually, that's not a yes or no question. I need to give you more
Okay, let me
information. kind of thing.
rephrase it. Let me rephrase it. Are there elven outposts in the asteroid belt?
I could ask it like,
No response.
Well, no, this is
No, he's not asking yet.
right. He's not asking
yeah.
yet.
Yeah, because
if
we can't discuss during the spell is active.
Okay.
I think I would say that if you start off with Ockar's question about the Elven Navy, if the Elven Navy is there, then that will imply that there will be places where they can land in different planets. So once you've got that, you can base your other questions. Like if the Elven Navy isn't there, you can then say, are there any spacefaring elves? And if there's no spacefaring elves, that means we're only going to get to meet grounding elves. And then you could start saying, are there elves on the
Yeah, but don't make
the
it too
air world?
complicated.
That's
Don't make it too
so-
complicated. You had something you wanted to say, Lafdul?
yeah, it's gone out of my head. No.
Write the questions down.
I mean, if you're
I'm
communing, like
writing
he
them
cannot
down.
commune very often without really pissing off his deity. So if you get to a point where, I mean, like let me put it this way: you might as well use all of the questions. Is what I'm getting at. So if you only have 5 questions that you want to ask about this sphere, you can also add in some other things because communing is also useful for spell research or other sorts of research or other esoteric questions, that you may have.
Gods are usually so often, how should I say, requested all the things. You should ask how is he. How is he? Make him feel nice.
Just
So, Lafdul, I guess first of all, do you have any specific questions that you want to ask?
I'm writing them down as this is going. I have got a question about Margoth actually that I'm going to ask him.
Okay. All right, so Lafdul has a question that he wants to ask, so that means that you guys only have 8 to suggest. At least one.
Is that question that you are going to ask about Margot something that you are going to ask without
No,
telling the rest of the party?
I'm not telling anyone about that one.
Then you are doing the commune in alone situation.
I
don't think it-
cast
I don't
the
think it-
spell. It's mental.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. I'm not wording it out.
And the response, like, Lafdul could commune with his deity, and the deity and ask him a question that you guys want to know, and the deity is like, "Yep," and then Lafdul can come out of it and be like, "He said no," so you know, he's under no obligation to tell you what the truth of what the deity says. So. Anyone have any other questions that they want to suggest? I mean, I'm writing them down too, so if Lafdul...
Talking to Lafdul about it. Leva is talking to Lafdul about it. Doesn't need to concern anyone else.
This is something Lafdul would probably do naturally anyway, because I've always had an interest in Leva's backstories. I would probably ask this. I'm not going to ask. No, actually, no. That could be 2 questions. Actually, one would be, what is the name of the sphere that Leva is born into? Was born into.
Right, but remember that they want to, you're supposed to be doing yes or no questions.
At maximum 5 words or less.
Right,
You
but
should be able to reply with a sphere if they happen to know.
Leva was asking Lafdul to ask the question whether traces of her family can be found here.
right, but so
traces,
here
yeah.
again, optionally, the DM may give a single short answer of 5 words or less.
Yes, that's
That
fine. Even a yes will be fine, or a no.
Okay, I'm just saying that if you ask a question predicated on getting a non-yes or no answer, I am under absolutely no obligation to respond with anything other than a yes or no.
That's why she wants to know if can traces of her family be found here in the
Yeah, that's yes or no.
sphere.
Yeah, that works.
I've sent 5 questions in our private chat.
Can you spell your last name out? Because it's probably good to be more appropriate if I say your full name properly.
I can. I mean, again,
Or would that be assumed?
yeah, it's assumed that you've learned it
All right.
appropriately. It's fine.
Also,
Okay.
isn't it listed in Roll20 what the last name is?
Yeah, it is.
So Lafdul, I posted 5 questions, which I think give
That's
you a yes or no.
annoy the hell out of my team.
Why?
I mean, yes, that is. It's the
So
type of
just-
deity that wouldn't
just-
like to answer those things.
It's relating to elves.
Yeah.
So just
It's
you
related
know,
to L, so it should be fine.
so just so you know, he doesn't have to read them out, but I shot him 5 questions, which basically I thought this would fill up some of your slots. The first one is a thing that Ockar said, and the other ones is basically is a port friendly to elves located, and then with 4 different places described.
And then he picks and chooses at the time of asking.
Yeah, well, he could ask for all of them, or if he's got other questions. So basically, is a port. The first one is a port friendly to elves located on a flat world, orbiting the fire world. So if the deity doesn't know, then it doesn't answer.
No, chances are if it doesn't know, it'll say I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well, then we get an answer.
I mean, why do you want to know whether the Elven Navy is present in the sphere?
Because it's
Because
We
Can I explain?
Let her finish. Let her finish.
Yeah, sorry.
because the other questions have nothing to do with the Elven Navy. If there's a port friendly to elves, if there are no elves around, then you've essentially wasted the question.
No, we
Yeah,
know there are elves.
why don't you figure out first whether there are any spacefaring elves around, and then sort of home in on what you actually want, which is the Elven Navy present here? Because if there are no elves, then you don't need to ask about the Elven Navy, and you don't need to ask about ports friendly to elves or anything like that.
Can I please? I wanted to explain the reasoning for the question.
Well, I can do it as DM. And this is, to be fair, Leva was only just got here and missed this, and it wasn't part of my quick summary of what happened. Lafdul cast detect powers upon getting to the crystal sphere, and his deity specifically is worshipped in this crystal sphere. Now that could just mean groundling elves, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with jumping the gun and going straight for is the Elven Navy here. That's, I mean, it's a specific entity, like it's a specific organization that, you know, there could just be groundling elves, there could be spacefaring elves that have never encountered the Elven Imperial Navy, and then there could be the Elven Imperial Navy, and it is a very specific organization with specific interests to multiple people on the ship.
So you already know that there are elves on this sphere, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I take back my comment because I didn't know that.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was attempting to explain that to you, but you weren't letting me get it. Weren't edgewise.
Well, but she like you were trying to interrupt her,
Sorry.
and it's you know.
That's cool. Can I just say we do have one other reason. We've got an obligation to the Elven Navy at the moment. We've got a cloaking helm that belongs to them, and we've got an officer from their navy.
Yeah.
And prisoners that they want, and prisoners that they have bounties for.
Yeah.
So if the Elven Navy's here, we can go there, and if Lenonius says he wants to stay with us and get back to Brow Space, he can stay with us. And if he says he doesn't want to hand over the cloaking helm, he wants to keep it with us until he gets back to Brow Space, then it stays with us. But we need to discharge those obligations at, you know, depending on what the Navy says.
Right. Hence, asking if the Elven Imperial Navy. That's what I alluded to by saying there are, you know, multiple interested parties, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Quick question: does the Starlight have any elves?
no, they're all humans.
Okay. So I'm sending another question to Lafdul as a thing we should ask about in case the whole Elven Navy isn't a thing. Basically, if there are any spacefaring elves that are not part of our own crew, in case we don't get any, in case he says no about there being Elven Navy presence, we can still ask about general spacefaring elves.
All right. Lafdul,
What?
how are you?
How would I? I'm looking at the question.
Basically, it's, are there any spacefaring elves in the sphere that are not part of our own crew?
That would be yes, because, well, it's the probability is so high. Is it worth asking?
Well, no, it's situated to this one sphere, and that will tell us the technology level of the elves in the sphere. Are we dealing with groundlings or are we dealing with spacefaring?
Sorry, yeah, spacefaring. Yeah, but isn't that also defunct if I get an answer for the Elven Imperial Navy presence?
No, because there could be spacefaring elves that are not part of the Imperial Navy because they haven't found the Navy yet.
Well, it would be like if you ask, like you will know that there are spacefaring elves in the sphere if the Elven Imperial Navy has a presence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a question you ask if we are told there is not Imperial Navy presence. Because then we'll know the technology level of the elves that are here, since we know there are elves in this sphere. Understand?
Yeah, it's
because it's entirely possible that an elven society not related.
But
to
real fast. So there's only 9 questions, and the more that you make further questions contingent on the first, like on previous ones, the more complex you're setting the situation up.
It was just going to be one
No, and
contingent.
I get it, but there's also other contingencies that were put in there too for other for other things. So I'm just saying, like, you know, again, especially when you're dealing with gods, keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if Lafdul gets to a point where he's only asked 8 questions, sure, you know, that
Okay.
could be the 9th one or something like that.
If one thing, if you get a no on the is the Elven Navy here, or even if you don't, you could say, are there spacefaring organizations that are hostile to elves here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Write it up. I'm writing my own things at the same time as you're asking, so
Okay.
I'm not paying attention to what you're saying.
I have a general question about commune.
Yep.
If I were to cast commune at some point and I had only questions about spell research, would I have to actually write the questions down?
No.
And what is the effect of commune on spell research?
I would need to go look that up.
Okay. Since I'm interested in spell research in near future.
It's generally the kind of thing where it halves time, halves money kind of thing.
Oh, then definitely.
But I would generally also say that, like, you can't double up to get, like, quarter time, quarter money if you have a scroll of it. Like, the scroll would answer the questions that you would have for a deity.
Yeah, I don't have the scroll for the spell. I'm planning on research, but I'm there's one spell that I'm really interested in learning.
But yeah, if it's specifically for spell or magic item research, then it's just it has a mechanical effect kind of thing as opposed to anything else. But again, remember that you can't commune very often.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, but this spell is really important. Something that Solas would definitely want to research.
Yeah, that's fine. Lafdul, are you still working on the questions?
Yeah, I got a couple more I'm writing down.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean, we can retcon this a bit, but I mean, if you want to move on a bit.
Well, I mean,
very
the
distracted.
answering the questions can like if
Alright.
you'd rather wait, like, I mean, again, like, if you wait 8 days before communing, is it going to make much difference? You still have to get to these planets, kind of thing.
Mm.
If you wanna like actually move the ship forward and then ask it later.
Yeah, I think from role playing point of view, I would have time down thinking about them. So.
Okay. And is Lafdul's plans to just continue working on sculpting until you get to a planet, kind of thing, or something happens?
Yeah, generally speaking.
Okay.
And learning Pixie.
All right. Then I would say that you can start moving the ship, and we'll calculate off the days.
And it's not that I can't do it. I've got stuff going on, and I'm constantly having to run away.
It's just, I mean, it also just takes time to
Cool.
write out the 9 questions and stuff like that. Again, you don't have to be as precise about this because you are asking friendly entities generally. I will also note that let's see. Yeah, because you're contacting your deity or your deity's agents, so like they're predisposed to be positive towards you. So
especially since you are most likely in good standing with them.
Yeah. It's not like contact other plane where you're oftentimes contacting an entity that has no relationship with you and is most definitely going to be annoyed by an intrusion kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask where there's a temple of your deity. Or, well, you can't ask for a specific location.
No, I've specifically got to find them.
Yeah.
Also, Erevan doesn't have that many permanent locations for temples.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So 4 days pass as you're advancing to the nearest planet. You can go ahead and move your ship. Nothing happens in those 4 days.
I guess we're moving to there.
Braxon, what was our food situation?
The food situation, and I haven't adjusted it for the last couple of days since you made the good berries, but the food situation was pretty good. We had over
Okay.
10,000 man days of food.
Okay, so no need for additional create food and water spells.
No, but obviously we haven't confirmed there's
At the
food
moment.
on the world yet. I suppose
Yeah,
if we
but-
create loads of food, it's going to be food that we can't keep.
How many? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anything magical, you'd probably eat first. What is your daily food usage?
Our daily food usage is only 48.5 man days of food. That's with both the ships.
That's after reducing the
Oh, hang on,
salted
hang
pork.
on. Yeah, that's what I've put that in.
Okay. Then yeah, that gives you plenty of days of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll be split up from the other ship soon.
Maybe.
So then we won't have to worry about them. Yeah, unless they decide to follow us.
I mean, they may still want to, rather get to a port or something first.
Yeah. I don't mean we're in the sphere. Bye, because they're going to pay us, aren't they? They're going to pay us something towards helping them. We'll see what they offer us.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like they need to sell some
Yeah.
some stuff first.
No, that's cool. That's cool. We're not going to desert them.
All right.
If we go to the first place and it's full of monsters, we won't say, "Hey, why don't you land there?"
All right. So another 4 days pass as you continue flying towards the center of the sphere.
Right.
Is there anything that anyone wants to do in that time that they haven't already noted that they're doing? Like again,
Not really.
you're in wild space, so you can do things that you couldn't do in the phlogiston.
Well, now that we are in the wild space, Solas can start full alchemical experiments with using the fire, actually.
Okay. Are you doing anything in particular, or are you just doing like general research?
I'm trying to determine out what the if the plant samples have copper and such, or if it's another metal that they have, or what causes them to be that kind of plant matter, basically the bark and such.
Okay. There's definitely a higher copper content to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the 7th day, during second shift, one of the crew members, and so this is again, Braxon is on command. One of the crew members calls out to you, Captain, there's a school of scaver. It's just staying near the edge of the air envelope, and it's been eating the garbage that we've been throwing off over the course of the day.
What sort of scavers are they?
Looks like they're gray scavers, sir.
Grey ones. Grey ones are edible.
Yep.
Shall we? Who fancies scaver dinner?
There's
For
a
a
general
change.
yay amongst the crew.
Do they taste good?
They're edible. They're not. They don't taste bad. They are incredibly bland.
We
And the
have
thing is that
cooked
they-
Do we
today.
have do we have herbs and stuff?
You might. I don't remember what all the plants you have are.
The thing is that they would be fresh and could be cooked fresh.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Mm.
can have scaver fin soup. Let's try and hunt them because they're using up our air envelope. Not
That
that
is true, they
we're worried
are.
not that we're worried about that too much.
How do you want to go about hunting them? Because they are at the edge of your air envelope, and that is like a
I know
couple
we'd
100 feet
sold
away.
our harpoons. I can't remember if we bought some new harpoons.
I think we have some harpoons. I think we would resupply harpoons
Yeah.
as basic
Yeah.
ship supplies.
Right, but
Oh,
also they're a couple 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, we could wake up Ockar and he could go out and chase them around with Behemoth.
Yeah, but that would also be one person up against a school of Skaver. Even if he's tough, they could still gang up on him and chew him up into nothingness.
That's true.
Would attraction work on them? An item with attraction on it?
Doesn't that just bring everyone closer? I don't know that you can
Well,
specify a certain
yes.
group.
No, I can't specify, but if let me just have a quick look.
I'm looking in the notes and I can't see us having harpoons. I remember someone talking about harpoons.
I don't have a problem with you having a handful of harpoons, but you don't have the length of rope to do that from the deck of your ship. They're
right.
staying at the edge of your air envelope.
So to answer your question, a natural attraction between the affected object and all living things.
Yeah.
But that doesn't. I mean, Levi would not be affected if she cast attraction on something.
I mean, if you want to go out there alone up against a school of Skaver on your own, it's your choice.
I was
Well,
talking
that's
about that.
fireball.
She take an object, put it at the end of a rope, and we shoot at the rope. She flies over and casts attraction. Then she immediately turns around and goes back to the ship.
That's a good point. Could you fireball the Skavers?
They're most likely too far if they're at the edge of our air envelope.
The air
I
envelope's
might,
the same.
Or
but you know, I might, but not if only if I have memorized the spell.
Yeah.
And she
So,
But the
keeps
air
away from these types of spells as long as Severe Underfludge is done.
well, you're
And
back
isn't
in
the
Wild
air
Space now.
yeah, but for
isn't
how
the
long?
air
A week, over a week. No, a week
Okay.
at this point.
isn't the air envelope the same width as the ship?
Yeah, it's the same length as the ship too.
Yeah.
so how big?
Couple 100 feet.
Okay, then they would be in range.
But again, keep in mind that fireball incinerates. It doesn't like roast.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't cook.
Lewa still thinks attraction is better than fireball.
Okay.
Right, but then you're bringing this thing back with all these still living Skaver back amongst all your crew, and all your crew are now going to be attracted to this ball of Skavers that are hungry and chompy and bitey.
I mean,
Well, no, she just would take it back into range of our, as it seems, non-existent harpoons.
You guys have
I
harpoons. I
mean-
don't have a problem with you having some harpoons.
I mean, if it's just that distance, I could catch few with lightning bolt most likely.
But
If they
again, you're still like you're applying energy to things in a non
Uh-huh.
technical manner kind of thing when you like.
now I know how big is the school of Skavers.
I mean, they're flying around each other, so even
Yeah,
a
but,
fireball probably wouldn't
about
hit all of them.
how about 2 ice storms with the hailstorm version?
What's the range on Ice Storm?
It was range. Let me check. I think it should be enough. 10 yards per level, and I'm 10th level, so 100 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that might do it.
That'd freeze them.
No, it pummels
it
them
doesn't
with
freeze.
hailstorms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is it shouldn't damage them.
If you could get Finn to within 80 yards, he could put up a wall of fire as a ring around them.
Wouldn't that again incinerate them?
That might.
Since
it
when
might.
they die, they would basically drop into the wall of fire.
How big a wall of force could Leva make around them?
Probably
With
not
the
big
wand?
enough.
Not big enough?
Because again, keep in mind that like, well, number one, both Wall of Fire and Wall of Force need to be anchored, and they don't make globes, and they're out at the edge of your air envelope, which means that they're functionally flying around in open space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have 2 ice storms if we want to try that.
You got like fireball,
Isn't
ice
that the
storm,
same
lightning
problem?
bolts.
Isn't there the same problem with those?
Ice storm would just knock them dead and leave them floating.
I mean, it would pummel them with hailstones.
Yeah, but it wouldn't destroy them. It might tenderize some.
Fresh. Couldn't be fresher, but you have to go out and get them.
Well, yeah, that's the problem if we want to catch them. Unless we figure out something that can actually lure them close enough to catch otherwise.
I was just thinking we could start the fireball and then use the wand to extinguish all the flames when they're well done.
I don't think it works that way, but it sounds fun.
I mean, make a decision.
Well, I do have the 2 ice storms ready.
Sounds
Captain?
like a good idea to me.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good to me. If you can think you can get them.
I mean, I should get at least some of them.
All right. Give me
And
a spellcraft proficiency check to see if you can get all of them within the 2.
If our crew don't want to eat them, we can give them to the other ship.
That's a success.
All right. So you cast 2 ice storms in quick succession, which does pummel the gray scavers to death. And how are you going to collect them before they? Because they are at the edge of the air envelope. Now they're going to be quickly drifting out.
Just reverse.
Yeah, we'll stop the ship so they don't disappear.
Okay.
I don't suppose we can try and get. Are they outside the range of Braxon's rope? He could rope them and pull them in.
They're very much outside the range.
How
I mean,
big and
fly
heavy
there,
are they?
They're about the size and weight of a man.
fly there with a flitter and use the nets
That's possible.
to basically
Does someone want
while the bigger ship comes closer.
Does someone want to jump on the flitter? Or we could signal the other ship and tell them to go get them.
I mean, yeah, but it'll take them 20 minutes to get to your air envelope.
Okay.
I mean, I can go with the flitter if others want to use the nets to gather them.
Yeah. Okay. Braxton, go with you then.
Okay.
Braxton can lasso the scavers and pull them in.
All right. So you collect up the scavers and bring them back. Get crew to start butchering them and get your cook to start cooking them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is going to add on. Let's see. So that'll be about 800 man days worth of food.
800 man days of food.
And I would say we of course share these fresh catches with the other ship.
Yeah, that'll be about that was there were a total of 10 scavers there.
10 scavers.
Mm-hmm.
What day was this?
Day 7.
Inside the sphere? Day 7. Right, so I've got to work out
Oh, that was another week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How much stuff we've
So
used
I
since
can
we've been in.
add another week to my sculpting and stuff. I am doing questions still.
Yeah, you PM'd me. Let me take a look at that.
6 weeks in sculpting. Yeah. So far.
I mean, yeah, that's an okay question.
Alright.
That you sent me.
Once, now that, by the way, now that Solas has basically done studying with the plants, he would basically share with the rest of the spellcasters the information he gained, if any one of them have any interest in about it,
Okay.
even the NPCs.
So after the Skaver meat is all cooked up, the crew is happy to have some fresh hot meals with fresh food as opposed to just dried and heavily salted food and stuff like that, even if it's hot. But the cook says, next time, rather than pummeling them, it really ruins the meat. You could just have some people shoot them with arrows or something.
Yep.
I'm going to proliferate them instead.
Yeah, tiny holes is not as bad as just smashing them with heavy ice stones kind of thing.
Solas is the innovator of new type of space fishing.
I just love how this really gets to the point that you guys have a tendency to overcomplicate everything. I'm here just thinking to myself, you could just send some crew out on the flitter to shoot them with arrows.
We need to play a game with you as one of the players instead of the dungeon master. So clearly, we need to learn from you.
I just thought we could harpoon one and drag it in and then club it. But you said the ropes wouldn't be long
You
enough.
just do magic missile. It kills one per magic missile.
Yeah.
It would not kill one per magic missile.
Oh,
No,
well,
they're man-sized.
Yeah, you'd take more than one magic
5
missile.
missiles to one scatter pair. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of scatter.
5 missiles would definitely kill one, yeah. But it depends on their hit points and stuff. I'm just saying that, like, you could have said, sent the crew out to effectively hunt them.
Hey, Solas was just happy to be able to cast spells.
All right.
Likes casting spells.
So that'll bring you to day 8, and you can move to the next block.
Right. This is where we're going to move diagonally. This is the exciting bit.
That's fine.
Ta-da!
All right.
I hope everyone watching the stream is excited at that diagonal move.
Ooh, diagonal.
Pro gamer maneuver.
All right, and that is your trip continues to be uneventful. Is there anything anyone wants to do in particular during that period?
What there would have been bones inside those scavers, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
But
well,
broken.
mostly cartilage.
Yeah. Oh well, Braxon would ask the crew if they want to make any scrimshaw.
You basically only do it with the jaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Skaver isn't good for scrimshaw.
Okay. Well, in that case, he'd get all the space crews, all the space hands that want to make scrimshaw, to put their names in a hat, and then I don't know how much you can get out of a jaw. 2 jaws?
I honestly don't even know if you can do scrimshaw out of effectively a shark's jaw. So.
Okay. Right. Well,
I can't recall ever seeing any.
You said it was 10. I don't know. I know they can make it out of whalebone.
Yeah.
If it had been a giant pike jaws, then someone could have made kantele.
Okay, well anyway, Braxon will pull 10 names out of the hat for anyone that wants the jaws to make something that they could try and sell in the pool to make a bit of money on the side.
All right.
If anyone's interested.
Okay.
And if they're not, the bits get tossed over the side.
All right, Lafdul, how are you doing with the questions?
I have 6. And I think the last 3 will be from the ones that Braxon has listed, but it's the 3 that you... Out of the questions that you've got there, Braxon, in the group chat, 3 of those I will ask. So
Okay. No, that's cool. I was just trying to make sure you had enough to do 9.
I've got 6
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
so
You're in charge of your questions.
Yeah.
If you had 9, you could just say, "I'm asking my 9."
All right.
Finn did give a potential question.
Yeah, but if we find the Imperial Navy here, that's kind of answers that though. We want more than just what he's asked. We want I will type that. So I'd rather not say.
All right. So, I mean, are you ready to cast a spell then?
Almost. I have 6 questions.
Yeah, see him ordered.
Which
Did a really good question.
all right, that one I will go for the logical ones. Take that one.
You're in charge of your questions. I shall shut up now.
How many? I go the Earth world, the fourth one down on what you asked now. Sorry, I can't see this. It's to the other players.
That's the Earth world inside the asteroid belt, by the way.
Oh, there is. Oh.
Yeah, I haven't made a tab.
How
for
many
any of
Earth worlds are there? Is it just the one?
All right. So, real fast. You've got the Order of the Worlds is the Fire World Sun. There is a Flat World Water Body, size F. There is a Spherical Earth World, size D. There is the Earth Belt that definitely has some decent-sized planetoids in there. There is a Spherical Water Body next, size D. There is a Spherical Fire Body, size D, with a small Earth Flat World. And then there's...
Wait, that one.
Yeah?
Sorry, you repeat that one.
There is the Fire Body with a Flat World Moon. That's an Earth Flat World Moon.
Yeah, that's the one we're heading to at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the last one.
And then there's a Spherical Air Body, size D, with a cluster of asteroids following it.
I don't know if I wrote that right. I typed that T-World.
I mean, again, yeah, that's.
So I'm
yeah,
just
that's
trying
fine.
to reiterate what you said.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not going to. This isn't a wish spell. I'm not going to nickel and dime you for oh, you didn't ask precisely this kind of thing. This is a friendly thing, and your character understands your character can understand things that you as the player don't necessarily kind of thing. That's fine.
That's the questions I will.
All right. So you're ready to go?
Yeah. Oh God. It says I might have to make an offering if it's of a particular importance. Is this kind of like a gut feeling that I think I should, rather than because it's not indicative of whether or not I think it's important. It's I don't know how to word this.
That's more along the lines of if you have just come across an artifact and you want precise information about its destruction, and you are you're treading on dangerous territory, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Oh right,
That's more where that will come in. And I will generally give you a hint at least that you're treading into territory that might need a sacrifice.
All right.
Okay.
Based on what I've
let me
given,
look at
do
your
I think I
questions.
need to?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
All right, you ready? Are there any of these that you want me to like? Do you want me to read these questions out? Because
Well,
obviously
no,
the
I don't
viewers.
mind the. I don't mind the. These. The only one that yeah, I don't mind. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. I don't mind them being read out. It's fine.
All
They
right.
weren't secret per se.
You can ask for us to turn our ears off if you
No,
want.
that's fine.
Right.
All right. So the first question. Then what I will do is I will let you ask the questions,
All right.
and then I will give you the answer. So you are you doing this in private in your quarters?
In front of my icon, I suppose.
Okay. All right.
I figured that would be appropriate.
Yeah. All right. So you spend the 10-minute casting time getting the incense lit and burned, and making sure that the incense is filling your chambers. You sprinkle the holy water around, and then begin praying. And you feel that you have made contact. Ask your first question.
Can we find appropriate justice for the crimes Red Newald has committed in the sphere?
There's a moment, and then you sense a response. I do not know.
Alright, I do not know. Sorry, I'm just writing them in. Is there a friendly Imperial Navy presence in this sphere?
Yes.
Yes. Are there spacefaring organizations that are hostile to elves here?
Yes.
Alright. I don't know, I've doubled up on a question. Oh well. Is my negative gut feeling or concern about the Goblin Margoth who is traveling with us justified?
I do not know.
I do not know. Is there any traces of Levalithana that can be found? Found in the sphere?
No.
Yeah. Nope. Is there? Well, this is the doubling up one that I just realized. Oh well, I'm going to ask anyway. Are there organized groups within the sphere that are hostile to us that we should avoid that are not pirates, slavers, or raiders?
No.
Is the port friendly? Is the port friendly to elves located on the Earth world?
You're specifically asking about the second planet.
Yes.
Yes.
Not the moon.
All right, that's good. Let me just write a note.
No, this is the second planet, not the moon. The moon is the ninth question.
Now the moon. Second planet. Sorry, I'm just making a note of that. There's a port friendly to the elves. Is there a port friendly to the elves located within the asteroid belt?
Yes.
Is there a port friendly to the elves located on the flat world moon on to the firebody? Did I
Yes.
wrote that wrong?
That's fine.
Sorry.
No, again, like your
It's
character,
not
good
word about
I'm taking into account the fact that you're if there's ever a point where the wording is very crucial, I will let you know. I will generally let you know. Like if you're casting a wish spell, the wording is crucial. All right. So you get your answers.
Do I have a feeling if that was an agent or IRN?
That was almost certainly an agent.
Alright.
Like you might get your deity if you're asking about like an artifact. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. I know.
if we throw this dangerous artifact of Lolth into a volcano, is this going to destroy it? It's much more likely Erevan is going to be like, or kind of thing. You know, he's going to get involved. That's the kind of thing that he would get involved in, as opposed to just a random follower traveling through the.
I don't mind telling the other players what.
So hang on.
They heard them. That's why I asked, and the answers I got.
This means that Lafdul worships one of the villages from Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with that information, does that affect like what you guys are doing? Do you have any do you want to discuss any of that?
I will discuss all the questions apart from Fort with the party. So all the party would know about all the questions other than one I didn't. That was fourth one I didn't mention.
Yeah, and as a side note, you don't know exactly how many questions Lafdul's able to ask his deity. You don't know like any of that.
So you didn't discuss Margoth with us?
No.
Right. Okay.
I mean, Lafdul hasn't really shared his suspicions.
No,
that's
Finn
cool. That's
knows
cool.
that.
That's cool. It's just the fourth one didn't. Really
I'm not
ring
trying to
true.
make it like a hate crime against her or anything. You know,
No,
I
that's
saw
cool.
something.
That's
and
cool. I just wanted to confirm what one I don't know. Right. So we're heading towards the flat moon orbiting the Fireworld anyway. So for Braxon, it'll be we'll carry on going there. Did your deity tell you what side we should land on, or should we just?
No,
have a
I
look
didn't
around?
ask.
Okay.
That's awfully. I would have to ask again, and I don't really want to.
I think
Oh,
we
it
can
might be
find
easy.
it easily enough once we get
Yeah.
close to this.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
have a look.
it's like a mundane thing. You just
We'll
ask for.
Yeah, when we come into orbit, we'll have a look and see if there's any obvious place to land. And once we land, if we find this elven-friendly port, we'll be able to get a chart for the whole crystal sphere, maybe.
It seems we're in a friendly port, which is awfully nice.
And if the elven navy's there, then have you told Lenalius, or are you going to tell him?
Yeah, I'm going to tell him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Lenalius
that like raises Lenelius's spirits. He's excited and everything like that, and you would also get the impression that he is writing he's writing and revising and rewriting his reports in his spare time.
It's happening now, kind of.
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like now he has this feeling that any day now kind of thing, even though obviously you've got days before you even get to any planets, and who knows whether there'll be an Imperial Navy presence at that planet. But it's like, it feels now for him that it's like just around the corner. Kind of thing.
Solas being half-elf, he's only half excited.
We might want to check with the Elven Navy if there's any work going in the sphere, or if they need any services.
Well, we've got a load of gems to sell.
Yep.
And I'm working on a statue that should hopefully solve us up, unless we decide to. Well, this is more of a case if we take it to auction.
Yeah. No,
rather than selling it on the market.
Oh, when you go to sell that, we're doing a haggle roleplay session.
Oh yeah, something.
Your charisma's coming into play for that too.
I've got also 15.
Yeah.
I mean, I have good charisma.
Finn, yeah.
Also, we might want to consider asking the Elven Navy for a more direct route back to Brawl.
Yeah.
Well,
because they might know the way.
Yeah,
they might.
One thing that you would have gotten the impression from the directions, shall we say, that you got from the Falx is that it seems very unlikely that he would have given you a roundabout way as opposed to the best way to get back. So, there's a better chance that you're going to be like this is the route that we have, and if they recognize it, they'll be like, we didn't know that exists. This is good. This
Yeah.
is so much better, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, we
but the thing is, if we give them our version and they can help us with that, they can at least tell us what the blood star might be, and
we can
Yeah.
also hand off these prisoners.
That said, it is also entirely possible that the route that you have is temporary.
Yeah.
That
I
is
didn't
possible,
get good confirmation about the justice for Redwood. You would literally just be handing in a bounty. You wouldn't get justice.
Well,
Well,
no, it said
it's
it
more
doesn't
because
know.
It doesn't know.
Didn't know.
Sorry, I misread.
Well, we'll
Mm.
find out if they don't want to take him.
Yeah.
The other thing is Lenalius is going to have to decide, not immediately. We'll have shore leave, but Lenalius is going to have to decide if he wants to get off here or if he wants to carry on with us. And we've got that cloaking helm, which either gets handed in here or we take it onwards. But that's not our
Mhm.
call. So we need to be prepared to hand that over.
All right. So you can go ahead and move forward another 4 days.
question, Old.
Yes.
If I were to cast Commune now and ask about spell research, would I have to start the spell research immediately?
No, it gives you answers that you can use at any point.
Okay, so I would have a cast Commune during this time.
Okay. What spell are you asking about?
I'm asking about spell named Focal Stone.
All right, hold on a second.
It
Priest.
allows to create basically gems that hold spells.
Priest version? Priest
Yeah,
spell?
priest version. It's level 5th.
Let me see.
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah, that was that spell that was in your sphere. You were
Yeah,
talking
it's
about it the other day.
It's a spell that I have a really great interest in.
Yeah, it does look like a good spell, actually.
Expensive to use, but really good.
Wow, you need a good sized, good gem to hold.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see.
It's like fireball. Why are these never taking fireball? Why am I constantly being blown up?
It's a very rare spell in Forgotten Realms setting.
Yeah, I'm just glancing at it right now.
But yeah, it needs flawless or otherwise extremely exceptional gems, so it's extremely expensive.
Or like the 10,000 GP.
Yeah, well, so what that means is that you need at minimum the base quality of the actually let's see. Yeah, so you need at least base quality. So if a gem, the base quality is normally like 100 gold pieces, if you get one that's 80 GP, it's not going to work for it.
Yeah. But the better spells get the better saving throws, or so the better gems work better.
Yeah. I just want to double check how this works.
And one reason I'm also researching this specifically, seen as Dweomer flow is used with this spell normally.
All right. So yeah, I believe that will. So basically, like I mean, this isn't a spell that you actually know about. You're basically like, I want to research something to have
this
some of these
effect.
effects, and that's kind of what you're asking is like, can I create a spell that does this? No. Can I create a spell that does this if I use this? Yes. And that's the kind of thing that your questions end up being.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe that will. I'll double check it, but I think that will have the time and cost of research.
Oh, good, since that is a really expensive spell to research.
Yeah. So
most
make a note
likely.
that you did cast commune
Cast-
about
yeah.
Focal Stone.
So we do have Elven Navy here. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've been in the sphere for 16 days. That does get you to the end of another pay period. And you can go ahead and continue on the trip so far, since the Scavers, the School of Scaver, has been uneventful.
So we know that our destination is the Earth world, right? Since that's where the
No,
friendly port's supposed to be.
You go into
We're going-
the Fire World, the moon of the Fire World.
Yeah, the
Okay.
moon also had a friendly port.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And you didn't ask
Yeah.
about, this is an air world up here, you didn't ask about that. The Earth world is on the inner track.
Oh.
Neither did we ask about the fire world
Right. Let me
or
move another
the
square
water
then.
worlds.
We
Okay,
just
I've
need to
moved
get to one of them. We'll find out about the
Yeah.
rest when we get there.
Yeah, if we find a port, we can ask for maps and stuff there.
And more details.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I just forgot I can change my spells. Oh, my icon's been recharging.
Yes, your icon has been recharging.
I'm
does
so
it
far away
recharge
from
itself?
my icon.
Yes, because I'm in a friendly sphere that my deity is venerated in.
Oh right. I thought you had to like pray and push spells into it like a battery.
Yeah, it holds magical power, and I can store spells, and it uses up that power. But it can only
Yeah.
refresh itself once it's in a friendly sphere.
Yeah, cool. I thought what you did was like you prayed and then you pushed the spells into the icon to fill it up.
Nope.
Instead of
No, it's
Okay,
automatic. It's very, very handy.
Cool. Mm.
Yeah, mine is still waiting for me to pick it up.
I also ordered
I
one
know.
as well.
I know, that's my favorite part, that they're going to be there, and by the time you can get them, you'll probably want the higher level ones.
Yeah, we've got the
Makes
shrines
me
of the
so
fourth,
happy.
haven't they? The
Makes me so
sanctuary was fifth.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I
You
think
said
I
it was like
bought the
25k?
Oh, it's a lot, yeah.
I think I bought the 10k one.
Yeah, I got the 10k as one as well.
All right. So you continue on to the 20th day, and the trip continues to be uneventful. At this point, you cannot make out the details of the constellate behind you anymore. It's just like you can recognize the stars as making that pattern based on what you saw as you were pulling away, but now you can't see the outline of the constellate creature itself anymore. You can just see the stars.
Yeah, but we
So-
know that's where the Flodston River is.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to go back that way.
All right. So you can continue on another section of days.
Okay. Boom. We'd probably be going in a straight line, but but square wise,
Yeah.
an L shape is most efficient.
This is so annoying that it's done every 4 days for the week 7 when you're trying to track things.
Well, right,
Keeps
but
on ramping up by one.
it's because like it's set up for tracking the planets, not anything else, and this is just like on the inner one, it's 5 blocks is a day. 24 doesn't divide by 5, so
Yeah.
you know it's specifically about distance and stuff like that. So
Yeah, about the icon thing. Yeah, I remembered correctly that thankfully I bought the second one, so it's at least the 4th level spells that I can get with it.
It holds more as well.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
So you are closing in on the orbit of the planets, and I just realized that I should probably be checking to see if any of the planets have moved. Silly me. Hold on a second, because they do
Because
that.
orbiting is a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. Give me a second.
Braxon's going to check whether his icon's filling up.
Just filling up with your sass.
Okay, so the outer ones are have not traveled enough. The inner ones have. That is going to be. Okay.
Oh, they're going that way. Nope.
No, I goofed. I started resizing it. Hold on.
We're doing the coin turnover thing, by the way.
That's being handled.
No,
Essentially
I'm just
automatically.
mentioning to say that it is in game.
Should be there. Should be there. All right.
Oh. So it's counterclockwise orbits. Would Braxon be able to see if that's the direction that the outer planet's
Oops. Sorry. No, it should be clockwise. I wasn't even thinking. I was looking at the blocks.
going? No, that's cool. I mean, they can go the other way.
They can. I didn't roll for that though.
Yeah.
That's not what I rolled.
And you can get like one goes one way and the other one goes the other way.
Yeah, but I mean, I did roll for all of it, and it wasn't any of that.
Right.
All right.
So would Braxon be able to tell that the outer ones would go in that direction as well?
Yes. Yeah. They have moved. They just haven't moved enough to get to a
Yeah.
new block.
Yeah.
All right, and you can advance another block,
Okay.
and that basically gets you to the orbit, and you kind of like will turn towards the planet and head towards it.
Yeah. We'll be we'll have obviously let the others know that's where we're heading for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we turn and they carry on in a straight line.
Yeah. All right.
No, but we'd have let them know just in case they got split up from us, they could meet us there in orbit.
Right. All right. So the trip has been uneventful so far. You've turned your ship to head towards the Fire World. And you're basically traveling along that planet's orbit as you're going. On the 32nd day after entering this crystal sphere, on the second shift again, and I roll for this every time, and like every time for these last few things, it's always been the second shift.
Well, it's 50-50.
Yeah, that's true. It is. And you drop out of spelljamming speed to see another vessel traveling in the opposite direction, or like traveling essentially towards you in your direction, but not on an intercept course. You've just your paths have just crossed.
Yeah.
What kind of ship does it look like?
So Braxon is on duty. This is also Nemeriel, Leva, and Lafdul. And Braxon, you look through the spyglass as soon as you drop out, and the crew calls out,
Ship ahoy.
Ship ahead! Ship dead ahead! Looking through your spyglass, the ship appears to be a bird in flight. Brown in color, but it's going to take a few minutes before more details can come into view. It is brown in color, if I didn't say, with kind of a lighter underbelly. It's clearly a ship and not a bird. It's just designed to look like a bird.
Just looks like a bird.
Go ahead and give me a carpentry check.
Okay. I shall roll the d20 while I look on my character sheet. I'm currently on the Blades character sheet.
Pretty sure an 8 is good.
Yeah.
So, over the years, you have seen a handful of these types of ships dock at Brawl. And they've always been crewed
Is it a
by.
Shrike?
No, it's not. It is not a Shrike ship.
Okay.
It is. These ships have always been crewed by bird people, Aarakocra.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Cool. Okay, Braxton's gonna get out his signaling stuff.
And as you're doing that, you're already receiving a signal from them.
Yeah. Okay, well, they'll have a look at the signal.
What languages can you speak?
Human or common, elven, dwarven, what was the one he just learned?
You can speak
Probably.
Elven?
Yeah, he can speak elven.
Okay, they're signaling in
No.
Elven.
They're signaling in elven.
Mhm.
Excellent. Braxton will read out the message they're signaling.
Okay, the message that you are receiving is they're saying they're the Kroka's talons of the Imperial fleet. Please identify yourself.
Coker's talons.
Mm-hmm.
Should Linnaeus be around? He might have like a universal. No.
Braxton's going to signal back. This is the blade with the owned by the company of the Broken Sword out of an unknown crystal sphere, trying to head home. We've just arrived in the sphere.
All right. So they respond back that I'm sorry?
Braxton will also signal to them. We're escorting a ship which is on our tail. We'll probably arrive in the area soon.
They respond back, acknowledged. Heave 2, prepare to be inspected for contraband.
Yeah.
Understood. Right.
So-
I will. We'll let them come aboard because we need information. If they're pirates, we can always have a fight.
And we're. Are you gonna wake everybody else up?
Yeah, Braxton will send messages to the officers.
Okay. I recommend we
uh,
have Linnaeus front and forward to help with smoothing things over.
Well, bear in mind they might not mean the Imperial fleet from the Imperial Navy, but yeah, he'll send a message to Linnaeus if Linnaeus isn't on our shift.
I
I mean, they're gonna know.
Linnaeus generally isn't on a shift per se.
Yeah,
because he's to a certain extent functions as backup when you guys leave because he's just has that
Yeah. Braxton will
capacity.
send a message to him though, saying these people claim to be Cochrane's talons of the Imperial fleet. We're not yet sure whether they're connected to the Imperial Navy.
Okay. So as all of the rest of the officers and Linnaeus comes forward, any of the NPCs, named NPCs that you want brought up as well? Nemariel's on the helm, so she can't.
Yeah,
It's better to have everyone on up.
I don't know if Margoth wants to hide herself or come up.
Well,
Braxton-
Margoth came because he wanted to be diplomatic with the elves, right?
She
But
wanted
these are not the elves.
No, she wanted to re-educate our people, not re-educate. She wanted to spread the faith of our religion to elsewhere.
Braxton's gonna send a message to Margoth and let her decide whether she wants to come out or not.
Okay.
They're gonna. Well,
we don't, and he'll be sure to say we're not sure who it is yet.
All right. So Linnaeus gets to you and asks to borrow your spy glasses. You're issuing orders to your crew.
Yeah.
And one of your crew on watch will also call out that the Starlight has dropped out and is signaling. Just like, what's the status? Because you're dropping out outside of shift change.
Yeah. Braxon will read the signal, and then he'll signal back saying, "We've encountered a ship calling itself the Cocker's Talons. They say they're with the Imperial fleet, and they've asked to confer with us. So we'll confer with them, and then they might want to have a chat with you afterwards. So stand to."
All right. Specifically, it's Croca.
Croker, sorry,
That's fine.
as in Aarakocra.
Letters are changed around a little bit. Don't worry about it. All right. Your crew is getting ready to be boarded for an inspection. Linelius has been monitoring the ship, and as it's coming closer.
Can I roll an etiquette check to know how best to greet them when they come aboard?
Sure.
Don't let Lafdul cast spells in front of them.
Or within earshot.
All right. Yep. So you'll be able to be very polite and diplomatic with the general information. But the ship is coming closer, and of course, Braxon just BRB'd as I was about to have him.
I'll handle it.
Linelius. So Linelius turns to you, Braxon, to you, Ockar, and Braxon, and says, "It's quite strange. They're definitely flying the flag of the Elven Imperial Navy, but I've never seen a ship of that type included in any of our fleets before."
I imagine they're Aaron Cockra, bird people.
We've very
How far
few
away are
other races join the Imperial Navy. Haddazee on occasion, but mostly it's elves only. It'd be very unusual. It's certainly not one not a group that I've heard of. But we are quite widespread, and I certainly do not know of every sphere that has Elven Imperial Navy within it.
Yeah.
You have to always remember that you might have to recruit in the spheres that have more dangers, but not the usual races, some other races into the navy.
That's still quite unusual.
We can certainly ask about it when we meet.
All right. So they will be getting to you much faster than the Starlight does. The Starlight is not coming as quickly. And Braxon, so you're back. So Linelius informed you that the ship is flying the flag of the Elven Imperial Navy.
Right. Okay.
And he has never seen a ship of this type within the fleets that he's aware of.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast an augury.
Okay.
Braxon says to Linelius, "Maybe these are some sort of strange elves."
I will ask can we expect hostile intentions from the insert name? I forgot what they're called.
Croco's Talons.
The Crocus Talon members. Hang on, what did I ask now? I've forgotten already.
Can you expect hostility for the Crocod's Talon people?
Yeah, upon boarding us. I don't know what the right word is. Coming aboard. Yeah, I'm basically asking.
Inspection.
Can we expect, hostiles? In other words,
Is the inspection rules?
Yeah, is it a deception?
Your augury indicates that danger depends entirely upon your own actions.
Braxton's going to
That
get
takes 2 rounds to cast.
Yeah.
Braxton's going to get that letter of recommendation that we had from the Elven Navy.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not appropriate for this area, and the seal's been broken. But the same one that we showed to Linelius.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything like a blog posters or anything of the Elven Navy regarding to the prisoners we have?
No, you don't. To a certain extent, like, I mean, you were after them before you really knew that they had
Okay.
done anything against the Elven Imperial Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really more of your testimony and, of course, Lenelius's testimony to the effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything anyone else wants to do before they come alongside and board you? Because they're going to be here. They're going to be alongside you very shortly.
I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I mean, the only thing, if they turn out to be people pretending to be the Elven Navy, and they're really pirates or something, we'll end up just fighting hand to hand. So, Braxon's obviously got weapons on him because he's on shift, but he's
Alright.
not treating them as hostile.
I mean, Lafdul's Ogre did say that it's only dangerous if we make it dangerous.
I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready to greet them politely with
Yeah.
good etiquette to make a good first impression for the party.
Okay. So the ship breaches your air envelope. The Starlight is still a number of minutes away. They're coming in, and you can't pick up what the signal is, but Kroka's Talons obviously did spot them along the way and started signaling them as well.
Yeah.
You could guess that it's probably along the lines of Heave 2, you'll be inspected after this other ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's just a guess on your part. So as they breach your air envelope, a very squawky voice calls out that you are to be inspected by the Kroka's Talons and make no hostile actions. And it's speaking in Elvish.
I will respond in Elvis. Of course. Please come aboard.
All right.
We wish no hostile actions. We just wish to meet with you and let you do your inspection, and then ask if you know a way for us to get home.
So they pull alongside, and a number of humanoid birds, about middling height, in between elven and human height, but way lighter. You can tell that, like, their builds are very light in comparison, even towards compared to elves. Start springing forward. They're wearing like equipment straps and sashes and belts, but no actual
Nice.
like shirts
Have
or
I
pants or anything like that.
Question.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll let you react once I've described things. There's a mixture of individuals with generally brown coloration, and then other individuals that are brightly colored with reds and oranges. And all you're seeing are these bird humanoid figures. You are not they're all avians. You are not seeing a single elf amongst them. But so far, all of their conversation has been in Elvish towards you. But they pull up alongside and deploy a plank. And those of you who are familiar with Elven Imperial insignia would recognize Elven Imperial insignia on their equipment sashes.
Okay.
Right.
When they come over,
Hmm.
I would like to
Hold on just a
handle.
second, because Lafdul had a question.
No, I was just wondering about the Everial culture. I'm wondering how much I even knew about it.
To you, they're legendary.
Alright.
You know a little bit about it, but it's very much from stories and myths.
I've never seen any in Evermeet in my entire life.
No.
Oh wow.
There is
But-
no population, like substantial population of them in Evermeet. There's a rumor that there's a like
No, it's like
there's a
travelers
rumor
or
that they
something.
live in some other places, but a lot of people, including like a lot of elves on Evermeet, think they're extinct back on Toril.
Alright.
these are obviously not a Variel. You would recognize an Variel.
Oh yeah. I know that. It was the law because they might be more familiar with these than I would.
They are, for those of you, some of you have probably seen them on Brawl in small numbers. They are Aarakocra. And those of you who've seen them and maybe had dealings with them, everyday kind of dealings with them on Brawl, primarily it's going to, I'm looking at Ockar and Braxon here. You'd be aware that many of them end up coming from some world in realm space. You don't know that much about it.
So,
hold on, one last thing. Everyone except for the elves, your nose is really itchy. There's floating through the air as their ship breaches your air envelope. There's like downy feather type loose stuff floating around. It's really beginning to itch your nose.
Does it
Okay.
half itch my nose?
It does not half itch your nose. No. All right,
Okay.
Ockar.
So I will introduce us to them with my etiquette skills, trying to be as polite as possible to be on their good side. Introducing the captain, myself as first mate, the crew, and introducing is it Numerial?
Numerial is on the helm.
Lanelius.
Lanelius, and
Oh,
introduce
Lanelius.
Lanelius as an officer of the Elven Imperial Navy, and then let him do his own introduction.
All right, what is your reaction adjustment for charisma?
Let's see, I have 17 charisma, so that would be a +6.
Oh wow.
And I'd already rolled a successful etiquette, so I would know how to handle this.
All right.
When Ockar finishes, Braxton's going to hold out the letter of recommendation from the Imperial Elven Navy to another branch of the Imperial Navy.
Okay.
And say, this is a letter that one of the branches of the Imperial Elven Navy gave us to introduce us to another branch. Obviously, it's been opened, but you're welcome to read it.
Okay. So one of the Aarakocra steps forward. She has brown feathers covering her body, but her belly is lighter in color, and her head is slightly reddish. And her equipment sashes have a number of insignia, and Lanelius can whisper to you that she's clearly the captain.
Okay.
She then speaks. I am Siruk. Welcome to Erakov space. May I inspect that letter? She's holding out her hand for you to give it to her.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, Braxton's going to hand it straight over to her.
Okay. And as she's about to look at it, she does look over Lanelius and says and nods. Commander, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to speak with you as my crew conduct their inspection. Lanelius salutes and says, "Of course, sir," in Elvish, very crisply. She quickly reads over that and hands it back to you and nods to Lanelius, and they cross over to her ship, standing on deck so you can see them, but they are conversing quietly while her crew spreads out and begins inspecting your ship. It's a pretty standard inspection. You've had these before.
Yeah.
How far away are they?
They pulled alongside. There's a gangplank across the ship.
Is it within range of my mind read? 5
Braxton,
yards a level.
Braxton
Yes.
will.
I will
Braxton.
mind read them.
Before the troops go into our ships, Braxton would have told the captain that we've got some prisoners.
That had committed crimes against the Imperial Navy that we were trying to transport to the Imperial Navy. And Lanelius can explain most of the details.
Yeah, she nods and responds, "Noted," as she's crossing over with Lenelius. It's pretty clear that she wants to get basically a report from a source that she considers more trustworthy than you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Trying to help, yes.
Yeah. And Lafdul, you begin to cast your mind read spell.
I already cast it.
Okay. How surreptitious are you
level,
trying
so-
to be about casting a spell as
No,
her crew is spreading out and inspecting your ship?
I already cast it, so it was after the augury. So however long this conversation, it might have run out. It's only around the level.
Okay, I don't remember you saying that you were casting it before, but okay, so you would have cast it before they pulled alongside.
Yeah, it was. I was going to cast new customers, but I knew I couldn't stack the spells one on top of each other.
Okay.
So it's just the mind read after the augury. So I don't know how long it's going to last.
All right.
I
What's
assume
the
not
what's the
very long.
duration?
It's near around the level. So I assume after the augury, however long it's been since then.
Okay. You've got a couple minutes.
All right.
So before the spell, like by the time the spell runs out, you would pick up that she is very curious and slightly suspicious, but it's also mixed in with like there's this restrained great excitement in her as well. And go ahead and give me an intelligence check. No, actually give me a wisdom check. All right, you're pretty sure that this is like you put 2 and 2 together and you realize she is excited because there is an Elven Imperial Navy officer from outside the sphere.
Oh.
And that's about all you can get. You pick up a bit from Lenelius as well as he's beginning to issue, his a quick, very abbreviated report. You realize that if there's probably going to be more, but in a more formal environment. I think you know enough about the Elven Imperial Navy. So they talk for a fair bit of time as her crew is inspecting your ship. The Starlight comes in close, pulls up alongside on the other side of you, and puts out a gangplank. You quickly inform them of what's going on. So they had never heard of the Elven Imperial Navy before. So their captain is somewhat curious about what this all is, and it means absolutely nothing to him that bird people are a member of this, and you're like, that's unusual. It's like, I mean, it's unusual for me to know what they are, so it doesn't mean anything to him. But as Captain Suruk's crew finish up with the inspection of your ship, they begin to head over to his ship for an inspection.
We'd give a bit of background on how we met them.
That will wait. I mean, you did say that a ship was following.
Yeah.
And their captain hasn't returned to us.
Yeah. So Lenelius and Suruk do come back, and Suruk asks you a few questions about this other ship, learning that you encountered them in the flow, they were petrified and everything like that. She issues some more commands to her crew on how to inspect them. But she then turns back to you and says, I've spoken to Commander Lenelius. This may come as a bit of a surprise to you. I can imagine that you were hoping to get into contact with the wider Elven Imperial Navy. We have been cut off from them since flow rivers changed hundreds of years ago. So, needless to say, we are quite excited to have someone from outside the sphere as a member of the Imperial Navy.
Ah,
We
I
might.
before you can say anything, she
Yeah.
immediately continues. I would like to request, and you pick up that this is she's forming it as a request. It's not a request.
Yeah.
I would like to request you accompany me to our headquarters. It is quite close by. She gestures generally in the direction that you were already going. The Council of Admirals would be most interested in everything that you have to say, not just about your travels, but also in what has been the any news you have about the Elven Imperial Navy outside of this sphere.
of course.
Braxon says we were actually looking for a friendly port, so we'd be delighted to go with you. Would you like to come and have a look in our chart room before we head off, or should we leave that for when we meet with the Council of Admirals?
I have gotten an abbreviated report from Lenelius, but I believe that the sooner we get to the headquarters, the better it is. I am. It would be for my own curiosity that I would look at it, and that is wholly inappropriate in this situation.
Of course.
Very well. Very well. Will you have dry dock facilities for our ship? It doesn't normally land on the ground, or should we leave it in orbit and come down?
That would depend on the situation when we get there. I will need to converse with the council.
Okay, very well. We said to the people we met that we'd get them somewhere safe. So, are they okay to come with us?
They should come along as well. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We just met them in the flows. We don't know exactly where they come from. They'll be looking for somewhere to work afterwards.
That is understandable. However, it is of significantly lower priority than the information that you have.
Yes, yes. Well, we don't know whether they'll want to follow us on or whether they can talk to your people about somewhere to go. So we'll deal with that when we've met your people.
We will ensure that they have supplies for the duration until things are handled, and we will make all apologies, but they will be supplied with all the food that they need until we can. Until a decision has been arrived at regarding the information that you provide.
Okay, then.
All right.
Finn will also chime in here and ask the captain if he can tell her something in confidence.
Before that, because Lafdul had asked a question, Lafdul, can you roll me a religion check?
Oh,
I mean, you are asking about religion.
yeah, I know. I just have it up. That was all.
And information that I give you is not something that is obvious, so you need to check.
Yeah, because this is going to be variation.
Well, that's a success.
You are aware that Erdrifania is very close to the primary goddess of the Aarakocra, and you think you see some symbology of that goddess on the on some of the Aarakocra. So you do not see any symbology of Erdrifania, but you do see this other one that's like, I think that's this other deity that you're not sure exactly on its name. You're like, I'm trying to remember, kind of thing. All right, Finn, you had something that you wanted to say?
Just to tell them about the other ship and how long I figured out that they had been adrift.
Okay.
Just so that she'll be aware that they aren't versed in anything modern.
And you're making it clear that you want to tell them in confidence, but not confidence away from everyone else. Just like
right. Just don't tell the other ship.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because they didn't want to know.
She nods and says, "Yes, please. You may tell me right now." And you can go up to her and tell her quietly, but so that the rest of the party members can hear if they're close enough, but most other people can't, kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
How old were they, by the way?
Didn't we figure out that it was like 117 years?
Something like that.
132 years. I have
yeah.
it written down over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered that.
Or that's how long they were adrift. So
Yeah, I just remembered that how old the ship design was, but I don't remember that Finn mentioned the age to other party members.
yeah, he probably would have told everyone, and also that the captain decided that they wouldn't
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah, that I remember, but I didn't remember if Finn would Finn had told to us.
And Lafdul, give me an intelligence check, please.
Muscle's racking his brain today. Barely.
Okay. The
Oh.
Aarakocra haven't really paid any particular attention to Margoth.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
they're not aware of. Alright, fair enough.
So it's gonna be let's see, what was that?
Captain Sirok.
Yes.
One of my helmsmen is a former officer of the Imperial Elven Navy. So
Yes, my
if,
crew, my inspection crew has informed me of such. I would be most interested in speaking to her as well, or let me rephrase that. Actually, she wouldn't have said that. I'm sure the council would be most interested in speaking to her as well when we arrive at the headquarters.
yeah, very well. I'll ask her to come along.
Okay. So once the inspection is done, she'll ask you if you need anything else or if you're prepared to follow her vessel.
No, we're aching to get to her port.
Okay. So she does inform you that you are heading towards the Fireworld, specifically a moon of it. And I am going to reveal the name because she says the name of that Fireworld is Krokaroth.
Krokaroff. I'll probably spell these badly.
Well, you should be able to see the name
Oh, sorry.
on
Yeah.
the token.
We're flying now,
can-
yeah? Or,
I'm sorry, you're about to get started.
right,
going.
right.
She already left.
If there's something that you wanted to ask her, you'll have a moment to do so.
Braxon would ask.
Hold on, Lafdul's
Oh,
asking first.
Sorry.
Forgive my curiosity, but could I show you something?
She will.
It would only take a moment.
Just a moment. Indeed, you may.
Alright, and then I alter self to an area. Evrial?
A Variel.
I'm just what? Yeah, I'm saying, do you recognize this?
She looks at you strangely, as if you've just asked her if she recognizes the most obvious thing in the world. Of course I do.
Huh, I'm not familiar with your people, but this is like I just thank you for indulging my curiosity. I had a hunch and I wasn't sure.
All right, give me a hear noise check.
Now, hear noise.
Mhm.
And that was like a 50. I think it's like a 50. Do you want DM?
No, that's fine. I don't care.
I'm just gonna roll a D on it. I can't remember. Nope.
Okay. All right. Braxon, you had something?
Yeah. Well, that's the name of the planet, but
Mhm.
what's the name of the moon?
The moon that she says that you're going to, and this isn't going to mean anything to you at the moment, is that you're going to Darathol.
Right.
Darathol.
THOL. Right. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
I'll be writing that on a chart at some point.
All right, and you guys are prepared to follow her?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Did the other ship draw up alongside us and them, or
Yeah,
They
they've
did.
already been. Yeah, they did, and they've already been inspected at this point.
okay, and they're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, they were just getting
they're ready to go.
inspected. There's very much an element of, we have no idea what's going on here. We're just looking for a way home, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
even more so than you. And yeah.
If Braxon is in the same air envelope as them, if they don't do it separately, he will say to the captain of the other ship, "Don't worry, we've had dealings with the Elven Navy before. They're good people. They'll help us."
Understood. We've had inspections of that nature before, and this was quite reasonable. Everyone was quite friendly, although it was very difficult to understand them.
Oh, do they actually speak Elven?
The crew of his ship does not. The crew of the other vessel had it difficult to understand common accent when they ended up speaking common.
Oh,
You would have picked up by now that essentially Elven is the common of this sphere. It's the lingua franca.
it's a good thing a good few of us picked up Elven.
All
I
right.
had no choice.
So at the point when you encountered this ship, you were just about to get to the next block of space. So it's basically just a little bit more than 4 days, and you will be at Krokeroth.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna zip on over there.
All
Wait,
right.
is that 36 days here?
Yes. 36 days.
I'm not sure if I'm at week 9 or week 10 now. Oh well.
It was
Shit won't
36 days in total, so
Yeah.
that's all I need to know.
I mean, again, keep in mind that like you can decide that you just can't, like, you do some of the stuff just, oh, we're a day away from that planet, let's just do all the stuff that we would have otherwise done even though a full week hasn't passed. It's fine. But you drop out of spelljamming speed, coming into orbit of Krokeroth, and you can see a pair of moons orbiting this planet. One of them is the flat world that you saw on your in the astrolabe, size B Earth flat world, and it's greenish in color. So you'd guess it has vegetation on it. But there's another greenish world that's smaller, an ellipsoid, and that is what the Captain Zuruk of the Kroka's Talons indicates that you will be heading towards. So you do a course correction and head towards that smaller of the moons, that one being Darethal. And you arrive in orbit around that to find that planet appears to be just an oval of enormous tangled vines, and in orbit of that moon is yeah.
Does it look like it's got a gravity plane?
It does, yeah.
Oh right, okay, we can dock at it normally.
However, Zuruk is guiding you towards a satellite of the moon, which is clearly artificial, and you recognize it as as 5 elven man-o-wars grown together into a single, roughly
cool.
circular station.
Does Braxon know what that is?
You've encountered an ancient one in wreckage.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
That was the one that was crashed, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was also larger.
Yeah.
And those vessels were older than these. These are of the standard model that you are familiar with, as opposed to the archaic ones that other one was made out of. So you'd recognize, you'd guess that this is probably more recently constructed than that one.
Yeah.
And she signals to you, and you can tell that the starlight is being signaled to as well. that you're being instructed to dock at this facility. She informs you that your crew will not be allowed on board except unless they're escorted. That's everyone. But you will need to. You can expect that you will need to be giving them a statement on everything. Once the once you've spoken with the the council, once she has spoken with the council and everything like that. And as you're coming in towards this this Elven Crown base, that is where we're going to end the session. All right, so coming into orbit around a crown base, and you'll have an opportunity to find out what exactly is going on with the sphere. They apparently do not have access to the wider Elven Imperial Navy.
That's worrying, actually.
No, it's not.
I mean,
We've
they
got-
did say that the flow rivers changed 100 years ago.
We have a slightly cryptic way to browse space, so we can share.
It was
that
not.
with them.
It was not directly to Brawl space. It was to
I know.
known spheres.
Okay, well, we can share our slightly cryptic route with them, and they can either send someone along with us who can retrace the route or whatever.
Making a navigation map.
Yeah, but if they want to be rejoined with the other elves, then we can help them. They can help us.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
All right, let me go ahead and get some XP totaled up for you guys. Give me just a second. Okay, that is going to be... Helps if I'm on the right thing. Alright, for Finn and Lafdul, 3,600 XP. Leva, 2,000 XP.
Wow.
Solas, 3,600 XP and 50 for your mage.
Oh.
And Braxon and Ockar, 3,720.
Thank you.
I'm guessing
And
the 50 was for the fishing.
yes, yes. That very creative way of bludgeoning a large number of scavers to death. And actually, Lafdul, for your priest, 250.
Oh, what, for communal or something?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
All right, so when we come back next time, the party is going to be docking with this Elven Crown base and finding out just what is going on here, and speaking to these elves.
Sounds good.
Maybe they're elves. Maybe it's just all Aarakocra. Who knows?
Kokra cosplaying elves.
Yeah,
be,
pretty much.
But that will be for next time. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Really do appreciate it. We'll be back next week.
See y'all next time.
Thanks for the
Thanks
game.
for the game.
Take care, everyone.
See ya.
See you next time.